And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here for the Elite Series League of Legends 2nd Division's finals. Rift Sloths versus Dynasty, with the Sloths still unbeaten, having taken home the first game of this best of 5 series. Now I still have by my side my wonderful co-casters Freshtana and QG. Welcome back, guys. Here they are.
Back.
Beautiful. Now we've seen Rift Sloths still very strong, still unbeaten right now with this first win. Well, I'll start off with you, Freshtana. Anything you think Dynasty should definitely switch up going into the next game?
That's a good question. Maybe they should pick blue side for themselves. Maybe not play the Kindred. I don't know. Just did not work out in my opinion. Maybe ban out Jax in the second ban phase. If your big answer Fiora did not work, then maybe do another try or something. But in the end, it's Rift Sloths. In the end, it's the strongest team we ever had in the Elite Series. So in the end, it's maybe just not winnable. Who knows?
Yeah, but Dynasty took red side if I'm reading it correctly. So we have almost the same pick and bans again. Maybe they don't pick up the Kindred. It didn't show up this game, so they probably would go should go for something easier with engage potential like the Maokai. With still a stable pick. The Sejuani is still there because it's not on the. I think Homelu is not the focus on the should not focus on the carry. Also with Hasaki they should focus on Dark Uniq, so get that engage in, get the bot lane ahead, and maybe you can get something out of this because the macro is so strong on the Rift Sloth, so you actually have to have a lead to actually go against him in the mid game, and that should be the plan. The counter pick for Hasaki with an engaged champion, and I think that should be the plan. Maybe they don't get the Jace. I think the Jace is out for all 3 series, so they don't go for Pocomp. Well, they can go for Kai'Sa and Six, or Xerath, because Faker played it this morning and actually wrecked everything. But maybe we see that in a Pocomp. So there could be some changes, but I don't think so.
So you think same draft as before, and for now we do have the Jax ban out right off the bat, as you've said, Freshtana. We have the Jace ban still in for the Rift Sloths as well. I believe Frankie just showed what of a monster he can be, and I believe also one thing that they should definitely change on sides of Dynasty is the Kindred ban pick as well. Picking Kindred against Shredded, who is a known Kindred main, seems to me like a very ballsy move and a bit of a dangerous one as well. For now, very similar pick and ban, however, still Tristana, Nautilus still banned as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the big question is, do they really need to ban Jax in the first ban phase? Because Jax wasn't picked in the first 3 picks, so in my opinion, that's kind of a wasted ban in the first ban phase. And now Nico ban, I think that's a good one, just because Lucan actually played a really good Nico. But like I said, maybe just pick blue side and pick Nico for yourself, because Frankie is a good Nico player as well. So it's just like the approach here from Dynasty in the second pick ban kinda is so suspicious, at least for me. Yes, Buchan's Alessandra, I think didn't we see it one time? Like on the last match day or something from him as well. I don't know.
See it, yeah.
But I actually like Lissandra, and that Dynasty goes for Kai'Sa is no surprise.
Yeah, isn't Lissandra also the counter pick for LeBlanc? So Dynasty can't go for the Frankie LeBlanc, and also I think she got patched a bit in the last patch in 13-14. With the Q slows everybody she hits, not the first targets. The passive is better coded, and I think the old changes were also in there. And there's Ahri, and Lissandra is actually good against Ahri, so that's a counter. Get it? They're counting themselves here.
Okay. And for reference, Lex played Lissandra actually in the previous playoffs, so you weren't there to see it, Verstappen. But against Fulclear, he played the Lissandra. He played a very, very clean Lissandra as well. Definitely showed what he had up with the champion. Now we have the Viego again for Shredded. Played it last game. I believe he played it for all. No, he played it for 2 games in their first best of 5 series in the playoffs as well. Also had very strong performance on there as well. And we go with the ESLOL again. I mean, why change something that worked just now? There is
the Nico and the Lisandro almost have the same playstyle actually.
Yeah,
you can go in and stun someone up. So the draft doesn't change for Rift Sloths. They still have these 3 picks they had before. Maybe their plan didn't change. Why change a winning team, you know? And there's the Rakan for Crablord.
Yeah, so they kind of pick it away from Crimson. And like you said, the draft does not change too much for Rift Sloths, especially like now with this Lissandra ult, you can almost pinpoint someone to get those resets for Viego. So that's definitely a good combination in itself. And I mean, at the moment at least, we will see a different pick from Lex, and we will see a different the different champion from Crimson. So something will change. But yeah, with Ornn now being banned, Hasagi loses a big asset. And the big question is, I would assume that Dynasty will pick up a jungler as 4th pick and then last pick for Hasagi. But if Rift Sloths just ban out Fiora or Renekton now, I don't think that there's a good matchup here for Hasagi left. And they actually banned the Udyr.
Yeah, and there the Braum and Alistar are out, so there's only for Engage, there's Leona still there. It could be also picked up by Grizzon with his Engage style champions. If you're bald, you can also go Lissandra support, but I don't think that would work. And there's the Nocturne for Dynasty.
I believe a champion Humlu has also played quite a few times. Definitely up or can keep up with fast clearing and so on. Can join in, chime in when needed. Definitely a good pickup on there. And we do leave once again the last pick for the top lane. Try to get the best pick possible for Hasaki against the Lex. We have the Blitzcrank, which was left open. It was the first bar last game. We've seen Grizzon on it. I believe the Riftsoft social media page actually even posted one of his insane hooks he did on the Blitzcrank through minion waves. So yeah, definitely a good pickup for Grizzon here.
Yeah, I really like it because he knows definitely how to play it. And there's Na as a good blind pick in general, but not as a like really scary pick. I mean, I rather fear Gwen or Jax and not really the Na. So it's maybe a good sign for Dynasty, and if they now get a good matchup against the Na, then it could be maybe rough. Normally, like Yasuo or Irelia usually are 2 of those counter picks. Renekton is probably fine as well, but he goes for Shen, and that's something new from Hasagi. That's something new from Dynasty in total. But I really like it because it synergizes with the Nocturne. Going in, you just shield him, you go in as 5 people. So they kind of change their playstyle now and go from split push to team fight, to engage, to peel for Dark in the queue.
That's a engage comp, as in the books. Like you ult with Nocturne, you follow up with Ahri, and also with the Kai'Sa and the Rakan. So you don't have a backline. You are all frontline, so I think Dark Uniq's position has to be very, very good. Just not getting hooked from the Blitzcrank here is very, very important. If the Blitzcrank misses the hook, you can go in. If he has the hook, you shouldn't go in because someone is going to get hooked and get picked out of this comp. So this is actually not favorable. But still a very go button. If I ever see a go button this season, I think this is it. everybody can engage with the Shen. Kai'Sa W, you hit it, you go in with the Shen. Nocturne, you go in with the Shen. Ari can jump over the wall, go in with the Shen, and even Rakan can go in with the Shen. So there's some a go button in the books. I can't say anything more.
Over the place, and I definitely think it's not too bad of a decision to put a lot of load on Dark UDQ. I mean, he's an AD carry who's shown time and time again, ever since the spring split already, that he can play at a very, very high level. Kai'Sa is one of the champions he's been playing all over as well, which he can carry on most probably. So I can't wait to see what he pulls off on there. On the sides of the Rift Sloths as well, we have the Gnar. However, you have to be careful with the Shen here. Gnar has got that bunch of CC once he's got the Mega Gnar, so definitely need to be a bit careful on there when you want to join in. I believe this is going to be the type of game when both teams, they will need this extra communication in order to get their team fight rolling, because it's so dependent. I mean, Dynasty's team fight is dependent on Shen being there, while for the Rift Sloths it's all the more beneficial if the Shen cannot be there, so they'll have to see, okay, can we, will Dynasty maybe go for the team fight? Let's try to be careful, try to avoid him getting a free ulti in and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and like from my point of view, I really like this really simple team comp from Dynasty, and especially like this Shen is kinda like a hard counter to Viego, similar than like Renata or like the Zillion would do. You just ult the target who will close to be finished from Viego, so you deny the passive stack and stuff, and like that can definitely ruin the life of Viego players. So good work. But it's still, I think, Rift Sloths, they have just a similar draft like last game. They played their champions a bunch of times. They are the stronger team. So I think they will definitely know how to play such a team comp.
Yeah, definitely. But also, if you hit the Paranoia from Nocturne and Shen goes in, if you're on side lane with Dinar, you can't TP. So there's definitely a 4v5 in there. So if there's a mini Gnar and you engage as Dynasty, you have like this free 4v5 or 5v4 actually. And that's also important if you want to fight the Sloths. If you want champ ahead, you have more damage than the others. So that's, I think, what they should concentrate on. Send the Shen to the side lane and then suddenly ult engage with the Paranoia and go in with the Shen. So Lex has to split push, you lose a tower maybe, but if you win the fight and you get some objectives and you get a tower, or you get a tower, that's actually a win. You have more gold, and that's what they were struggling before. They were behind in gold, so that's the thing you actually can do.
Yeah. I also really like this because Gnar is the kind of champion that's also really good to have in a team fight, and we've seen Lex over and over again make completely insane ultimates with the Gnar pick. I mean, getting 3 people into the wall is so beneficial for a team fight, and with the Chen, you just guarantee that you're always gonna be there before the Gnar. Like, no matter what, you're gonna be in the midst of it before him. I mean, unless you really fumble, but at this point, I don't think Alaki would do so. He would always be a step ahead, and this gives you that edge you've talked about, QG, to always be there in numerical advantage.
Yep. Quick prediction, guys. Who will win this game? Rift or Dynasty? QG?
If we go for go buttons that we went for the whole season, I think it's Dynasty's way to go. But the Rift Sloths are so stable, so I think the Rift Sloths will take it.
Rick?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a statistically side with the Rift Sloths, I still believe so. They are just so strong, as you've said, throughout the split. They are playing at a different pace than the other teams. We'll see. Will the Dynasty team be able to pull it off, take the win from this giant with this comp that is so explosive, that's got all the go buttons? I believe this is already a very good step forward, at least for them, but they're still not the favorite in this matchup, I believe, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's a David against Goliath if I ever see one. Oh, we maybe have a level 1 here.
5 stack in the river for both teams. Sounds like he does hit it, and that's the first blood going to Dark UniQ. Wow, Dynasty pulling the rug from under the Rift Sloths in the start of the game.
Yeah, just the hook missed by Krisen. That might be the first hook ever missed by Krisen in his entire career, in the Elite Series LoL at least. And then just a good taunt there by Hasagi. Taunt start, by the way, maybe one of the worst starts you can do on Chen, as well as the charm start on Frankie. So they might got a first kill, first blood, but they lost a lot of laning pressure, you could say. So might be possible, might be worth for them, but also can ruin their laning lives.
Yeah, but Dark UniQ got the kill and got a longsword, so he's fast on the static shift, and he has 10 AD more, so the bot lane should be better, but I think the hook goes in. Crab Lord is not afraid.
And that's knock-up going on to Ardafla. Dark UniQ get some nice damage out, Ignite out, get Ardafla as low as they can in this early game. And with that, Dark UniQ's superior firepower currently as well, that sends them in a good spot as well.
Yeah, and just the 10 AD makes the difference. Two auto attacks deal like 20 damage more than you think it does. And also the Q has a bit more damage if you're isolated. There's level 2.
Yeah, and if you use your Ignite fast, then you will have it faster than before, right? So as quick as you use your Ignite, it will be on cooldown in a couple of minutes. So not like the worst thing from Crab Lord, but still they played really, really aggressive like last lane, and which did not work out last game, but it might work out now with this longsword.
Yeah, I think the longsword does it. It's the 10 AD difference.
I mean, this early in the game, it's a huge difference, 10 AD. Because you don't have much AD at minute 3. 10 is proportionally a shit ton.
Oh, you almost turned into the tower.
Yeah, but he was quick with the reaction hop.
This game looks different. Dynasty look way more comfortable with this. But yeah, the Rift has the level advantage. Homolo is bot side.
So it's Shredded.
Shredded is there too. It's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, encountering. We have mid lane is joining in as well. Bacan already in the river. You have to be careful, Frankie not into it. Nice hook from Grizz onto Dark UniQ. Flashes out. Ignite is on him. Shredded already getting really low. Has to be careful. Gets on the turret. They keep pushing it. Kumulu picks up the kill. Bacan just around the corner. Flashes in with the W. They might get the kill on Crablet. So they do. Ardafla gets that kill. Flashes under the turret. Frankie flashes behind him to pick up the kill on the Ezreal player. And Dynasty gets out of this with 2 more kills.
Yeah, well played by them. Just some 4v4 action there on the bot lane, and in the end it worked out for Dynasty. I was a little bit shocked that we did not see the Lissandra passive. I mean, normally if she gets the assist, right, there should be the passive. But this time she might not have been in range for it. I don't know if there's a range thing. But in the end, I mean, yeah?
There's a timer thing. It's on takedowns and not on assists.
Only on takedowns. Not an assist as well.
Oh,
very nice. Very nice from Hasaki. We have Shredded coming in, however, to save his life. Flash into Lex, who's getting really low. But Shredded is there to save his life. And with that, it's Hasaki who dies at the end of the Rift Sloths player. In the meantime, Grizz and Crablock both on the middle lane. The damage on Frankie is insane as Bacan gets in. The knock-up doesn't hit anybody. And situation is looking really good for Bacan to pick up that kill. But Frankie gets on the turret just in time without any more CC. They can't really do that much damage.
And that top lane kill is really, really important, just to get Hasaki a little bit more behind, and of course just to get Shredded an early advantage, at least to get back on Homolu, who has this early kill. So it's some more action now on Shredded.
Yeah, but careful there because Frankie TP just in. Shredded is getting knocked down and has to be careful. Will he be able to get over the wall? No, Homolu picks up a second kill, and that puts the knocked down player at a very good spot now, because with that he gets that money and he can bring the rest of his lanes quite far ahead with that.
Yeah, wonderfully played by the whole Dynasty squad. Good teleport in the end from Frankie. And of course Humulu does a great job so far on this Nocturne pick.
Yeah, and it was very unfortunate for Hasaki for the first kill there. One auto attack. Be enough, but I think there will be skirmish.
Yeah, we have the
Hasaki is not
dropping.
afraid. Holy moly. That's some confidence boost. The mental went very high in this series. The early game did them very well for the mental state. I kinda like it. And there's more action than before, Loic. And
Yeah,
First
this
time
time around we really got the action, and I really like what Dynasty's doing here. I mean, taking usually a loss is detrimental to your morale, but it seems like they needed that pressure to get into it, and they're setting the pace, they're playing this very, very cleanly. 1k gold lead, 1 Drake ahead, and they just keep it going without too much risk. I really like what we're seeing here.
Yeah. And with this first trade, Humulu even got the first object of the game. So Dynasty with a good lead so far, not only on kills but also on objectives, and especially like just to see the sign of relief by those players, just that they know they can still win such a series, that they can punch back, feels good for Dynasty.
yeah, and it shows that the Sloths are not perfect. But they also do mistakes, or something happens that shouldn't happen. Then you can just punish them, because I think Hasaki said it will be hard to punish the Sloths, and they did it with 4 kills now, and that's just the way you have to do. Punish the mistake. Punish.
And most importantly, keep that pace going. Because
Sure.
it would be the first time, of course, that another team has a lead in the early game against the Sloths. But Dynasty right now was on a very good track to keep it going. I mean, Humulu did take the first objective, as you've noted, Trashtana. Now Herald is spawning, Sloths jump the gun, they go to it. Will Humulu react to it? We have Crabblot going to the million, so maybe they want to, but they might not expect the Sloths to do it so early, maybe.
Yeah. It's really early. Herald just spawned at 8 minutes and now already is starting.
Yep.
Oh, Humulu.
Paranoia onto Shredder to get really low very quick with that, forced to flash away. Hazaki immediately altered as well. Ooh, very nice taunt on Bacano, gets really low. That's another kill going to Dynasty. It goes in Hazaki's pocket. Rift's bot lane is coming up, but I believe in the meantime Dynasty will be able to pick up the second objective in the form of this Herald.
Yeah, just really well played at the moment by the whole Dynasty squad. Still getting some early leads, still getting some early kills. And with this Herald, you might get 2 platings on one side of the map. So you could try to get it to Dark Unique, you could try to get it to Frankie. I think those are the 2 most important options for them. And let's see who can generate like a first round maybe with it.
Yeah, Humulu is topside again, doesn't have ult, but there is no... oh, maybe the flash
Taunt
out.
lands here, Lex gets Mega Gna, however, just in time. Nice spell
Flash,
shoot from
nice.
Humulu, and that's a flash out. And I think it's really important to... it is top lane gang, very important from Humulu to give Hazagi some breathing room, because he's been having a bit of a rough time against the Gna right now.
Yeah, you can see it in the CS department. He has really dropped down like 20 CS. No, they will share some XP, some CS, so it doesn't make like the lane better for him, but at least he can go to base now. But still, Lex is playing a really good lane at the moment in this 1v1.
Yeah, and it also... the flash out from Gnar means that there is no flash engage on the next objective.
As well, we have a hook on the bot lane on to Crabblot, disengages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just instant used Ignite and tried to kill Crabload there, but now comes Humulu.
Now we have the Paranoia on the bot lane, immediate flash and arcane shift from Ardefla. Hook goes barely aside, but very quick reaction from Humulu, get to the bot lane. Prison wasn't even able to get the control ward down, and just in time because Drake is coming in about 40 seconds.
Yep, good gank attempt there by Hulu.
There is no 3 champs without flash on the next objective. That's very bad for the Rift Sloths. And there's every flash up for Dynasty, so if there will be an engage, will be a flashy one. And they just tried to poke out Hasagi so he can't TP to the dragon.
Yeah. That's the question now. How good are Rift Sloths currently with those timers? Do they know that Stand United is not up yet? Because it's got barely any cooldown left. So that's of course good, but I think it will be up just in time before Dynasty engages. We have the engage on top lane, however in the meantime as a lot of damage is falling on the Shen player, but he is also dealing a lot of damage to Lex. Stun goes through, and it looks pretty even now. The flash out from Hasagi as Shredded is just around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. But, I mean, did not work out for him. Oh, there's Shredded. Now, with this pushing lane, they could go for it. But still risky, because Shen with the taunt can be really hard to get doved, actually.
Yeah, and with the W as well, I mean, you lose a lot of damage as a Viego when you cannot auto-attack. Might be a bit risky as a Gnar as well. I mean, you lose a lot of visibility. And in the meantime, Humelu goes for that Drake. I really like this cross-map play here. We have the hook in the meantime from Rift Sloths as well. And Krablet, who's getting really low. Can shift to grab the kill, but he's able to get away. And now with that Rift Herald, they get to play things. Humelu is taking the Drake. And in the meantime, Hasagi by himself was able to keep Legs and Shredded busy on that top lane for nothing.
Yep. So that's a Drake for Dynasty. It's a lot of platings as well for Rift Sloths on the top lane, but still a good play from both sides. Good cross-map play there from Humelu.
Yeah, and there's also a little fun mechanic, because Viego's ult does on-hit damage. It can be dodged by the Shen W. So you have to... yeah.
Oh, crazy.
You can also dodge Katarina ult because it has on-hit damage. Or Elise Q because it has on-hit damage. So it's counted as another attack to dodge. That's some interesting thing you can do in like these 1v1s or 2v1s. So if you're a good mechanical player, you can just get that W right. And there's the dive again.
And dive again with Gnar against the turret. The CC is there. Bakan is there as well. To add more CC, we have a TP coming in, however, from Frankie. Will it be on time? Shredded has to use the ultimate to get away. The damage is there, but Hasagi is still alive, and the damage from Frankie is there. Lex is getting really low. We have the Pendant Renoya coming in, but I believe that's for the mid lane. In the meantime, Lex is the one to die, and the mid lane it goes off. Ardafla getting really low. Is he going to be able to grab the kill on Krablot with the Ignite? Yes, it goes to Grizzon, but Grizzon has to be careful. Humelu is behind him. And in the meantime, Shredded goes for Frankie as they take the kill for Bakan, but I don't believe that it's going to end up in much. Yeah, no, Frankie even survives. And with that, the Rift Sloths are aced by Dynasty.
That's huge. I mean, just an ace against Dynasty at the 40-minute mark. I don't believe that ever happened before. So that's huge and so much gold into the bags of Dynasty. I mean, Rift was in such bad positions, like in the whole season twice or something. I think once against Pertinax. So they played from behind sometimes, but like that's actually big problem. The 4k behind, two Drakes behind after 40 minutes. That's something.
Yeah, and it went down bad for Rift. They once, for the first time, I think, are on the unlucky side of some catches here, and it looks bad. This looks so good for Dynasty. They have 4k ahead, and the Humelu and everything just went right. They engage on two sides. The TP from Frankie, Hasagi, and
especially I gotta give it to Humelu. He is having an excellent game right now on his Nocturne. His ultis have almost always yielding great results. Now we have on the bot lane Lex going in on to Frankie, putting a lot of damage on the Ahri player. I believe that should result. No, with the Spirit Rush gets away. Maybe True Shot Barrage goes Ahri. But yeah, Humelu just doing God's work right now.
Yeah.
Another engage on the middle lane, very good reaction from Grizz. Get out of that paranoia. But that's a flash out, although he does have X Flash.
That's... The Blitzcrank is actually at this point not a champion. He has to pull someone in that is too strong, or maybe Hasaki is going to... No. Maybe
I
the
believe
hook?
he's already
No.
too healthy.
Maybe we should have seen a nasty hook, but Frankie...
Abakan going on to Frankie with the W, and yeah, Glacier
Dash
Prison
interrupted.
Spirit Rush is back up, however, and with that he's able to get away. But the siege on the bot lane continues for Lex as he gets damage out on this turret. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're back on 4K. So now Dragon is also up, and it's the Cloud Soul. The Cloud Soul is really good for Dynasty. They have
yeah.
these go buttons, and they can be even faster. Crab Lord has that movement speed, acceleration on his W. So this is very nice. So this game plays into Dynasty hands. But they have to finish soon because they fall off a bit. The Nocturne falls off late game.
Did you have the Kai'Sa?
Yeah.
There you go. However, they pick up Soul Point, which definitely plays into the hand, gives them a lot of agency. Hazagi versus Lex now. Grizz just want to corner with the Hex Flash, but Lex doesn't have Mega now, getting really low, but with the CC they are... Nope. Nice Q from Grizz, and they get the shutdown. Oh boy.
Yeah. Wonderfully played. And that's a good roam there from Chrism. Just getting Lex a little bit further ahead. And which will definitely help in this matchup, especially like this shutdown is worth something. Rabrod seems to be alone, but there's Dark UniQ and even Humulu is
Humulu with
around,
the
so
ult.
they might want to kill him.
There it is.
Yep, Paranoia going up. Very nice flash and ulti from Shredder, and he gets away with that. That's 4 men on the jungler of the Rift Sloths, and that's the cue for them to say, wait, Frankie is all alone on the bot lane, maybe he can go for that catch, do something
Just
at
dashes.
least. Yeah, ulti is back up as well, so knock up is landing. We have the charm, careful here, nice dodge on that Q, and Frankie gets away yet again.
Yeah. Big play by Frankie, just surviving this crossmap play in the end. But it was a good try on Chrism, who has the Everfrost as well. So those hooks could become a little bit easier for him, just because he can root someone and then hook him.
Or slow someone and hook him.
And I think everybody in that team of Dynasty is so elusive. I mean, you have Ari, which is like, with her ulti, just gets easily away from anything. Got the Banshee's Veil as well because of all the CC. You have Kai'Sa, which also, with the ult, with the E, is so hard to get a catch on without hard CC. So it's a team that's really rough to catch here or pin down, albeit having so much CC on the sides of Rift Sloths.
Oh, the engage.
The engage from Humulu with the vision on Drizzen gets pulled back in, but the
nice
res
jump.
of the ice is there as well now, and the damage is there. Shredded is next to fall. Lex joined in with Bakan, but with the CC, Bakan doesn't have a chance to get away. It's almost an ace for Dynasty, as only Ardafla and Lex are up, and with that they rotate towards that Baron.
Yeah, that could be a really quick Baron. I mean, just 20 minutes and 10 seconds, so they really rush it down with this Kai'Sa pick 2 items, so that's working. And in the end, that could be one of the quickest Barons we had so far. Wonderfully played by them, just punishing the Rift Sloths in their own jungle. And that could actually be the first win for Dynasty in the series.
Can we just say that go buttons are winning you the game? The more go buttons you have, the more you win fights. like this is just a perfect example. For now, the go buttons are winning, and I don't know how the Sloths can come back from this.
No. I'm not sure about the statistical foundation of this theory, but definitely right now it's looking very good. Sloths has very little answer to all the engages that Dynasty have. They do have a lot of CC, but Dynasty is so hard to pin down. Now maybe a catch on Hazaki, but in the meantime Dynasty is pushing in that top lane. They are starting to get rid of all the turrets on the map, already 3 down. Sloths are able to keep up with 3 as well, but now it gets 4. You have to be careful
maybe
here.
we engage here. No.
Jungle through the root. And even in Mega now, Lex gets so much damage already. Here we have the hook in, but careful, Paranoia just around the corner. With the silence, they're able to get some damage on Crabble down, but now they have to disengage. Hazaki is in with the taunt. Lex gets into base, but dies at the hands of Dark UniQ. So does Shredded at the hands of Humulu. They keep the push going. That's another kill, and Traukan all alone. Will he be able to survive? No, that's another ace for Dynasty.
Yeah, and that's 22 minutes, and they can probably finish this game, right? It's the second ace they have. They have Baron minutes. They could try to finish it.
That's game. No, it's not. No. They should be. No, they can't end. If they force,
seconds.
no, they don't force it. They don't force it. It's too the timer's not too low. They're just gonna take 2 towers so they can send the Shant. No. Yes. Send the Shant top. Go fight the soul. But we have maybe some engage here.
Yeah, it looks like the Sloths are
delaying
looking for it. We've had the True Shot
Dragon.
Barrage to just delay them. Paranoia dropping for Humlu just to confuse them. Bakan is just around the corner. However, on his Lissandra, he should be able to find a good angle. And they keep the push going. Lex is starting to get really low, but now he's got Megagna. Bakan is in with the E, Flash W, and that's Frankie, who should die at the hands of the Sloths. They pick up that shot. That very nice hook, but on the Shen with the damage there from the Sloths, they are still able to pick up Hazagi. With that, they at least get 2 kills, but they're still very far behind from Dynasty, who are still 8.5k gold ahead.
But they maybe get this Drake now with that. So at least they could maybe deny the soul, at least if they are fast enough. But Humulu is there, 5-0, and then of course Kaiser is there with 6-0 as well. So it's not an easy Drake to take.
Yeah, but they can't 3v5. They have to give up the dragon if they don't want to give up all their gold lead, because they... Oh, this is hard.
Tough one.
I
I think it was the spell sheet from Humulu that was perfectly tied there, but it looked so weird with the hook just sticking on him.
There you see, the Sloths are so good at punishing. They went for the greedy tower on top side, so the TP came in and just punished Dynasty. But they're still so far ahead that it doesn't even matter. Just get another tower.
They just siege that turret. Rift, I mean, Lex cannot do anything against it. Mid lane is open, it's perma pushing as well. So they need someone to always get back and defend it, and with that, Dynasty can just push with numerical advantage on the bot lane here.
Yeah, it's still 8k gold, so it's nothing to mess around with, but I mean, they got at least 1 shutdown on Ari, so they can collect the shutdowns on Nocturne and on Kaiser, and then maybe can back into this game, but it will be a hard game to win from here.
We've seen the Rifts also play from behind, as you've said, against Pertinax. It was the very first game they had during the split, but I don't think it was that rough in terms of push and in terms of like the pace set by the other team, because Dynasty right now is playing this really well. They're always onto something. Now they know they have a very considerable lead, and they're always looking to get a push in, to get a catch in, to get something in, to not let Rift Sloths breathe simply.
Yeah, 25 minutes into this game, they try to get this bot lane turret, but nobody is splitting top lane, so at the moment Sloths can just defend the whole base. I think that Dynasty actually needs Baron to do something.
Yeah.
So they might wait for it, but then 5v5 in a bad team fight, they could still lose it, so they need to get at least a catch for that. And with Nocturne ultimate, it's possible to catch someone.
Yeah, and they need to. They need to go in with the go button. If the Rift Sloths are engaging, there's definitely something wrong here. And they are setting up for the Baron, and Hasagi has ult and teleports. So the Rift Sloths have to group here, because if someone is catched, he's going to die, and maybe
we have the hook, Crablord initiating everything, Paranoia going in, we have Stand United coming in from Hasagi as well as the fight is going on. Crablord really low, very nice, Sonya's from Bekan, but he does die in the end. Hasagi in the backline, Dark UniQ joining in, are they able? They get the shutdown on him, but Grizzon is next to fall. He has Lex is getting really low as well as Ardafla. Frankie keeps the push going, but has to be careful, because this Ezreal damaging him from the side is dangerous. Humulu versus Shredded 1v1 is going on in the river in the meantime, and with that, situation diffused. I don't think Dynasty can go for an easy Baron here, because Rift Sloths could just back and interrupt them at this point. So definitely very nice engage with that hook from Grizzon.
It's a 2v4 too, so it was actually worth for the Rift Sloths. They got the Kaiser shut down, so that's a big money grab for them.
That's huge.
And with that, they hold their own at the moment. They did a little comeback.
Yeah, they're starting to come back, but they're still 7k behind. That's 2 items for the whole team, and there's also the stopwatch for every engaged champ there is. So that's going to be even harder to catch somebody. And also the Shen has 262 stacks on the Heartsteel, so the old shield is going to be bigger and bigger and bigger as the game goes on. Because they patched it with the health scaling.
It feels like such a late game already, but if you actually look at the champs, they all I don't think anyone except for Dark UniQ have really 3 full items, and Crablot, but supports don't really count, and yet it feels so late game already.
Yeah, no, they do Baron. But Lex has teleport, Shen has ult, so both can come into this.
Yeah, TP coming in from Lex. Here we have the Paranoia engage from Humulu, but follow-up is quite there, yet a lot of damage following him. Now we have Hasagi in, Dark UniQ in the back line, Ardafla getting really low, has to kite his way out. Grizzon is the first to fall at the hands of Dynasty. Humulu has to be careful, he might die at the hands of Pekan, but the rest of Dynasty is onto him. He does get the shutdown on the Nocturne player, has to be careful however, while his team, the rest of his team, Shredded and Ardafla, fighting against Hasagi and having a rough time. Dynasty is able to pick him up, they do get the kill on Hasagi, and instead of wagering it and trying to go for Baron, Dynasty says, okay, we just take that top inhib, we take that mid inhib as well, and 3v2, they can probably get a very solid push in here.
Oh, can they end here? Are they going to end here? Is this the end for you, my friend? Oh, and it definitely looks like the end. I think that's the streak from the Rift Sloths.
Fall, Crablot goes in, but we have the counterpart from the Rift Sloths. Nexus get up and really low. Dark UniQ does it! That's the first loss for the Rift Sloths going to Dynasty.
I don't have words. Dynasty played the go button. We have the 100% go button games, and the Rift Sloths are beaten against a full engage comp. Like, this is wow. I think, yeah. This goes to the mental of the Sloths. They have to learn, or the experience they have from Grizzon makes it a bit easier in a playoff like this. But the mental boost for Dynasty to take the first win of the split from the Sloths in a final game, that means we are guaranteed at least 4 games. There's not a 3-0. Wow. What are you banning? Oh, that's gonna be an interesting game 3.
It is, and like it's really special because I mean, just in the scheme of things, that's best of 5, and yeah, maybe Sloths could lose 1 or 2 games and still win it. But just in terms of losing this winning streak, that hurts, man. I mean, just if you just look at the losing streak, the winning streak, and now ended, and they might still win it and might still win the whole league, but just dropping the winning streak is so sad for Sloths.
Goes into your mental.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's where the mental most definitely kicks in. Dynasty came from a loss with a high morale boost. They rallied behind themselves. They got a great game through and through. Early to late game, they played this wonderfully without letting the clock tick for too long, and finished. And I mean, Dark UniQ, the mad lad, soloing in the end the Nexus, and he had like that much health left. That much health he had left. And he still made it. I can't believe the balls he needed to do this move, and the heart must have been racing so much for him. It's like, okay, if I survive this, if I add the Nexus, we get the win, and if not, yeah, it's a bit rougher, but still a good position. But, oh man, anyways, Dynasty taking a win. And that's also the first playoff best of 5 series there where we don't have a 3-0. So, oh boy, I can't wait to see what's up next, and I believe everybody needs to catch a breather before we get to it. So we'll go into a short break, and we'll see you after that for Game 3 of tonight.